Hello, and welcome to the War in the Pacific. It is the 7th of January, 1942, in the Wirraway versus Encircled play-by-mail campaign. Forces of Japan have successfully landed at Fiji. Most of our invasion forces have begun the withdrawal. There's been no serious challenge other than a few submarines, like Narwhal. Trout is operating off New Caledonia, but she misses the fast-moving Ikikomaru, who, like a cat, appears to have 9 lives. It's like a little AVP trying to escape. Our merchant cruiser tried to sneak out. Not sure where it thought it was going to get to. We're landing in the Tonga Islands to establish eventually another air search platform deeper into the South Pacific. It's another straggler. Hmm. It's showing Allied cruisers north of Fiji. That's dangerous for them. They'll be lucky to be just out of range of my carrier aircraft, if they're just out of range. Oscar's sweeping Makassar. He had Kappa. It's interesting. We're bombing the 8th Indian Brigade in order to disrupt it enough that the recon unit and the small infantry unit there can force it to retreat or eliminate it. Lily's hitting Johore Bahru's airfield. Sonya's hitting Maduin's airfield. And Sonya's hitting some small Chinese units trying to escape. Lilies are fast. Looks like I lost one lily, which isn't bad. His usual attack. Oh, I'm sending bombers unescorted after my ports. I'm not sure it's a good idea. More unescorted bombers. This is interesting. He's trying to bomb my units at Johore Bahru, who are getting ready to take the city. But because it's in his hands, he couldn't sweep it. But why he didn't long range cap just one hex away, something, or even escort. Hmm. Looks like his cruisers were just out of range of my carriers north of Fiji. We'll see. Now, the 3rd Cavalry Regiment was destroyed there, but it it gave good service. See, he's got one good corps still. tank. All around a good turn for the forces of Japan. Speed through the end of it. Check in. Yeah, very heavy losses for him in the air. Should say very heavy for this early in the war. I didn't show it. It happened sort of in between the turns I showed, but he's suffered significant losses to his P-40Es operating out of Singapore. So it's probably why um, he didn't. Well, not sure why he didn't use buffaloes or something similar to escort his bombers on the Malaya Peninsula because he had plenty, though his fighters have suffered significant reverses in the last week or so. I think he's down to about 45 fighters, according to recon, from a peak of over 100 just a few days ago. But now Johore Bahru is on our hands. Malacca is clear. Kuala Lumpur is clear. So everybody will begin their rail down to Johor, Johor Bahru this turn. So takes 2 days to get down there, 3 days to unload, a couple days to move. So you're still talking a week before they cross the straits into Singapore. That one cavalry unit that surrendered probably added in itself added 2 days to the time it took me to advance down here as it sort of thrust and counter thrust with my armor right down uh, just south of Malacca. Not unhappy to see them as prisoners. Adams Airfield is done for. We're ready to invade Makassar finally. Sort Baja's airfield can't currently conduct offensive operations. Had a couple Wirraways operating out of Benjamin Mason. He's got quite a bit fewer bombers than he did last turn, operating out of Palembang. Those are all Dutch bombers. Out in the Indian Ocean, we've rearmed, or should say refueled, and so we're ready to continue offensive operations into the Arabian Sea. Still fighting in the mountains here, trying to get this unit to surrender. Not really affecting my operations, but makes me regret not waiting a day or two to have gotten paratroopers into position where I could have kept them from retreating at all. It's wasted about a week of this tank regiment's time. That tank regiment will eventually be useful for the last bit of the fight on Java, though I may not need it. Uh, I've made one deliberate attack with the armor, the three armor regiments I have, um, and, and certainly Dutch don't have much anti-tank capability, so it will rapidly grind them down. ready for our invasion of Port Moresby and Horn Island. Just waiting for the carriers. They'll link up, refuel, and the cruisers, heavy cruisers. Where are you? Somewhere in here. There. Now they'll also refuel to help provide heavy cover force for the invasions of Port Moresby and Horn Island. So these, whatever this was, just one hex out of range. I'm not going to chase it. We're going to continue operations and not get distracted. We'll have to take Chufu. I actually ended up accidentally picking the wrong base. I thought this was an atoll. It's not. And it's not even a small island, it looks like. So, but I'm here, so I'm going to take it. I would have been better off than going to Tonga Tapu. But if his past practice is any indicator, I can't loiter around. If he has any destroyers around here or cruisers, he'll send them racing in. So this fast transport task force of old destroyers will need to get out of there. But still, overall, the Fiji operation has gone without a hiccup. What's going on in the Aleutians? Just a submarine operating here. Okay. Task force in Port there. Actually, back to the South Pacific at Pago Pago. Might as well send in a rowboat with the smaller submarines into the shallow waters and see if we can pick off some of that. The rest of these submarines will blockade Pago Pago. Is the after we take Port Moresby, assuming that operation goes smoothly, we have adequate combat power either at truck or we could pick up the units at Suva and make a run Pago Pago. Okay, everything looks pretty good. We are going to have to come up with a solution for Wu Chao. So we need to free up the 104th Division, which is relatively easy to do. And I think I talked about in the previous video, uh, freeing up. And it's the 129th. I think it's the 51st Division that's strung out along here. We can take that newly arrived Special Naval Landing Force unit, use it to balance the garrison needs here and free up a division. That's one option. I'll consider it. All in all, pretty good. Yep. And let's just check Burma. So we're just about ready to enter about 26 miles from Rangoon. He hasn't used any aircraft here in a while, so we can probably flip over to move mode. Make sure we get there in 2 days. Again, definitely want to shut off the flow of supplies into China from the Burma Road. Well, that is about it. So I look forward to our next chance to talk, and we'll continue our campaigns in take Singapore and in Java, and then prepare for a move on India. Still in January is the goal. Talk with you soon.